That's my intro. Did you like it?
That was pretty good.
I really like that line. I think that's a really funny line.
It is pretty funny.
Break that sweet puppy's neck.
Break that sweet puppy's neck. I'm gonna say that next time I go to my mom's. A dog barks once. That's all the chance I'm gonna give it.
Fucking stupid dogs.
I was just reading Steam reviews for BioShock 1 while I was waiting for you to get done eating dinner,
Hmm.
and one of them said a man plays BioShock, a slave plays Fortnite.
That's pretty good. This game has a lot of good lines in it.
Yeah, my favorite line in the game. I don't remember if it's like actually in a cutscene or if it's or in game I mean, or if it's just on the loading screen, but it's when he says people told me I couldn't build Rapture in the ocean, but that was the only place I could do it. I just butchered the shit out of it, but
Yeah, I
that's
know what you're
like
talking about. It is a good line.
yeah,
But we're
that's a
getting ahead
really
of
good one.
ourselves.
Yeah, I guess so.
We have some stuff to talk about before then,
Yeah.
because since between our last episode and this one, we've had Summer Games Fest. We had the Xbox showcase. Nintendo had a direct.
Yeah.
And before we do anything, um, I would like to humbly apologize for a mistake that I made in the last episode.
What'd you do?
So, at one point when we were talking about Devil May Cry 5, we were talking about the Kalina Ann and like how you can dual wield it and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I said that the Kalina Ann 2 was just two parts and you could put them together to make the laser because you were saying that you got the original Kalina Ann and then like you could dual wield them.
Yeah.
You were right and I was wrong. I'm an idiot.
I cannot believe the guy who has hundreds more hours in the series was correct as opposed to the guy. I mean, to be fair, you just played through
Yeah.
them all though, so I totally believed you. But I thought I was right. But thank you for apology. I accept your apology.
No problem. But yeah, let's start by talking about Summer Games Fest. We had a few cool things. Um,
Yeah,
I know you'll probably want to talk about the Street Fighter DLC.
yeah. The Street Fighter DLC. They announced season 2. It's fucking massive. Especially because the first character that's coming out is M Bison, and he's coming out like I think this month.
Oh, that's cool.
Like he should be out in like the next 2 weeks, which is fucking crazy because Akuma just came out like a month ago,
Hmm.
so it's pretty wild. But they announced that, and then they also announced that they're gonna have Elena from Street Fighter 3 in, which is cool. But she was the last game she was in was Ultra Street Fighter 4, and she was a fucking annoying character. So I hope they tone her down some. But they also revealed that they're gonna have Terry and Mai from King of Fighters in, which is kind of like a huge fucking deal because Street Fighter has never had a guest character from a series that isn't like 20 years dead.
That
So
is
it's
pretty
it's
cool.
it's pretty wild because King of Fighters I think 15 or 16 just came out like not even a year ago. So it's pretty cool to see that. And then they also, to jump ahead a little bit, they also just announced the Capcom collection for the Marvel games and
Oh
stuff,
yeah,
which is huge because it's just showing everyone that Capcom's like willing to actually make crossover games again, probably. So
maybe
I would
we'll maybe we'll
expect.
finally get that Marvel vs. Capcom game with Nero in it that you want.
I'm not lying when I say this. I thought there was a 1 in 1 million chance that they would announce Marvel vs. Capcom this year at the Game Awards. I'm like 40% sure that something's gonna happen now,
That would be
like
pretty
this year.
cool.
I think they'd at least tease something. But yeah, it's pretty big for the FGC right now.
Yeah, I don't know if they would have because this is just like a classic gaming collection. Like they've done that kind of stuff before.
Yeah.
It is huge because you had no way to play those games prior
Hmm.
to like that
Right.
being announced.
You had no way to play them legally.
Yeah, but I feel like they'll probably wait and see how it performs before they like do anything. Um,
That's true, but I do imagine that people are gonna play like buy the shit out of it. Because even
Yeah.
you said you were probably gonna get it,
Oh
and
yeah, I'm
it's like,
definitely gonna get it.
yeah. So because like I think it's been a while since Capcom did something like this to like see if people actually wanted new games, and I think the most prevalent example of that is when they did the Darkstalkers collection in like
Mm.
2013 or something, and it fucking tanked because the only people that bought it were Darkstalkers fans,
Yeah.
which there's not a lot of them. Uh, and it's like if you'd have just made a new game and made them all look cooler, it would have done better. But not to get too far into Darkstalkers, but Marvel vs. Capcom is its own fucking beast. I think that the collection is going to sell phenomenally, and I think we're looking at a new game in the next few years.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
Did you see that they had that poll? That Capcom made a poll, and like Dante was like the most popular Capcom character, and
I
like
did.
DMC5 was the most popular Capcom game.
Yes, I did see that.
And Dino Crisis is was up there too
Yep.
for some reason, so we'll probably get something with that
I
sometime.
feel like Dino Crisis. Here's my thing with Dino Crisis. I think they're gonna make in the next 5 years or so. They'll make a new Dino Crisis game, maybe a second one. The second one will tank, and they'll never make another one again. I think it's just whether you're actually a fan of Dino Crisis or not. That's the cool thing to say you want them to make right now.
Yeah.
So like a lot of people that have never even heard of Dino Crisis are like, "Oh, it's dinosaurs?
Well,
They should do
honestly,
that."
all they have to do is remake the first one, and like that would
Right.
that would be a Dino Crisis game in the RE engine would be impeccable. It would be
Yeah, it'd be
phenomenal.
sick. It'd be awesome.
Whether they do anything else, like remake two, like two is pretty cool. Don't do anything with three though. But that was the Street Fighter stuff was only one of the things that they announced at Summer Games Fest. There was quite a few things, quite a few odd things, like that fucking Lego Horizon game.
Yeah, that
Like,
was
what the hell
weird.
is that?
Lego's really weird. Did you see the thing about Pharrell?
No.
Do you know who Pharrell is?
Yes.
Okay, the music producer.
Yes, he did the epic score in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Hans Zimmer.
He also did Happy for Despicable
Yeah,
Me
yeah.
too. Um, he has a movie coming out about his life and his come up in the music industry, but
Oh yeah,
it's
I
made
did
with
see that.
yeah, it's made with Legos.
That is fucking weird.
Lego is doing like Lego Planet of the Apes might happen.
That,
There's still hope.
yeah, that would be pretty sick. Lego still hasn't talked about what they're doing with like their next actual game because like that Lego Horizon game like isn't like that's not like their next big thing.
No, that's just like a Lego
I
Incredibles
honestly,
type deal.
yeah, I honestly don't even know why they're doing it. It's such a weird. I guess Sony probably paid them like a
I
fucking
think
trillion
I
dollars
think
to do it.
I think Jim probably asked for it personally.
Well, Jim probably isn't even gonna fucking get it because I don't doubt he likes Legos.
Yeah, that's true. But
Um,
did they ever continue the 2K Drive stuff?
I don't know.
Because I
Uh,
know they had like a whole season pass
yeah, the
idea
the
and
season
shit.
passes suck because
Yeah,
you have to play the game for like a billion hours to unlock anything.
that's awesome. I love when games do that, where you
Yeah,
have to pay for it and then also play like 100 more hours.
yeah, it really sucks for that game because it's just like cosmetic parts and stuff that like I would like to use those now, please.
Right.
But
Yeah.
did you see the trailer for the Killer Bean game?
I did. I've been following that since it like got
It
announced
looks
like over a
fucking
year
it
ago.
looks fucking sick.
Have you ever seen the Killer Bean movie?
Yes, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's incredible. Funny enough, I was just watching John Wick 2 last night, and of course, the guy who made the Killer Bean also made the John Wick movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he was the stunt coordinator for The Matrix, and then he just got
Yeah,
like
yeah.
super. I don't. I'm pretty sure he was. It was either him that made Killer Bean or someone on the Matrix team did Killer Bean. But either way, yeah, the Killer Bean is like one of my favorite things to like. If I ever find out a friend hasn't seen it, I'm like, oh, we're watching that right now. Drop what you're fucking doing. We're watching that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
But that game, honestly, there's been a lot of those types of games in the last few years where it's like kind of stylish shooters with like a bunch of slow motion and shit, and
Mhm.
none of them really seem to really hit it, but this game I feel like probably has the best chance of like being that game, you know?
Yeah, because
It, it
it looks like a like Just Cause game with like how
yeah.
simple and like fun it is.
It looks ridiculous and the
Yeah,
ragdoll is fucking awesome.
yeah,
It looks I'm really excited for that.
yeah. I am too. Um, and they announced a new Monster Hunter game.
Yeah, I saw that.
Um, which
Not
I'm
I'm not the biggest fan, but I think it's cool.
yeah, I'm excited for it. It looks like they're going back to the world stuff.
Yeah. I saw a
Um,
meme that was it was the meme had a screenshot of like two of the new female characters and obviously they're really pretty or whatever in the game and the meme was that it's like the developers are trying to pull people away from wanting to fuck the monsters so they added like real women to the game. It's like good job Capcom. You're trying to normalize real women.
that's
Kudos.
awesome. So that's about all the notable stuff I had written down for the Summer Games Fest. Was there anything that you saw that you were interested in, or
From the Summer Games Fest, no, that's all I
okay?
cared about.
Really quickly, the Xbox showcase had a few interesting things in it. For some reason, they had the Snake Eater trailer, which I thought that was going to be a PS5 exclusive, but I guess it's not. It's going to be
That is weird.
cross-platform.
It's interesting.
But I mean, it looks cool. I haven't played Snake Eater, but
Yeah,
I'll probably play the original before I play the remake.
that's
But
cool.
um, and then we got a trailer for the new Doom game.
That game looks
Which, yeah,
awesome.
it does look awesome. Um, we'll have to see how it turns out. Because I don't think that like it didn't look like all the stuff they were showing was like actual gameplay. It looked kind of like a
There's stage
yeah,
gameplay for
yeah.
sure.
And I don't think that Mick Gordon is returning because like they beat him and were mean to him or something.
What the fuck are you talking about?
For Doom Eternal, he
They
only
beat him?
yeah they beat him.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
he only composed like a few of the songs in that because there was some like huge thing going on where like um he was just being mistreated by the company and they weren't paying him hardly anything.
Oh wow.
It's like it's fucking Bethesda, so
Oh yeah,
but
that makes sense.
um but I don't think he's coming back to do the music, which I liked a lot of the Doom Eternal music. I thought it was better than the first game, which but I guess he didn't work on some of the
Hmm.
songs.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe that'll impact it, maybe it won't.
I mean, he's good, but like
Yeah.
I don't think he's a end all be all for those
Yeah, but
games.
he is kind of the soul of that first game because like that's
Yeah.
pretty much what everyone goes to with that game is like the music and
Right.
stuff. So I get people being upset about that, and the thing that sucks the most about it is that you still can't purchase Doom Eternal's OST
Oh
because there's
really?
like so much controversy around it and stuff.
You know, I don't understand purchasing video game OSTs anymore because a lot of them are just on Spotify.
Well, that's the thing is that it's not on Spotify or anything. Like you can't.
Eternal's not?
No, it's on you. Like
Really?
people have uploaded it on YouTube, but you can't find it officially anywhere.
Really? That's crazy.
And I didn't even know. I was trying to. I was like, I really want to listen to this, so I looked it up on Spotify, and it wasn't on there. So I looked up why it wasn't, and yeah, it's just this whole fucking thing going on.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Huh.
But yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about with the Xbox showcase. I'm not a. I don't have an
Yeah,
Xbox,
just the
so
Doom game.
yeah, I don't really
Yeah,
care.
every snippet I see from that trailer, it just looks fucking awesome.
It does look cool. It's
They're
cool that
doing their
it's cool they're doing a prequel.
yeah, they're doing the whole Evil Dead Army of Darkness deal.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool. I feel like if any video game's gonna try to rip off that like structure in the trilogy, I think Doom is like a perfect one to do that
oh
with.
yeah, definitely. Here's the big one, the
Dun, dun,
Nintendo
dun.
Direct. So much good shit.
Yeah,
So you already talked about the Marvel vs. Capcom collection, which like fantastic. It's
yeah.
coming. It's cross-platform, but they announced it during the Direct.
Oh, it's cross-platform. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you
Or are you? I'm sorry. I thought you meant cross play.
no. It
Okay,
might be. I
yeah.
don't know, but
Who
um,
knows?
they also, this is something that I'm a nerd for. They announced that there's a Ace Attorney collection coming out of the Miles Edgeworth games, and Edgeworth is my favorite character in that
Nice.
series. And I think that like two of them were only available in Japan before, so
Oh wow.
yeah, we're getting like a remaster of them and everything in like the new style of like the Ace Attorney remaster collection,
Hell
and
yeah.
that looks really cool. Um, if that's cross-platform, I'll be getting it on PlayStation too. But
Hmm.
we got the Donkey Kong Country Returns HD thing,
Yeah.
which we'll see how much they charge for that. But I never played that one, so I'll probably get it when it comes out. We got a new
we.
Zelda game.
I'll tell you what, Donkey Kong. We could probably do a playthrough of that.
Yeah, we could.
That'd be a fun one.
We got a new Zelda game. It's a 2D one, and you play as Zelda this time, and like it's weird. You like
Did they name it The Legend of Link?
no, everyone was pissed off that they didn't.
That'd have been really fucking
Yeah,
funny.
it's called The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, and you use this wand to like take echoes of like objects and enemies and stuff, and you can like place them around and like jump on them and stuff, and like use them for like puzzles. You can like steal enemies' souls after you kill them, and
Oh my
like
god.
you can spawn them in to fight for you. It looks kind of cool. I might check it out. I've never really been
Yeah.
a 2D Zelda fan, but it looked kind of cool.
Nice.
They announced a new Mario Party, um, which that's always a buy from me. Maybe a possible Levi Knight material.
Ooh.
Um, and finally, the creme de la creme. We finally got an actual trailer for Metroid Prime 4, which is like it's crazy how long they've been talking about that game, and like we haven't seen fucking anything from it.
They've been talking about that for like 7 years,
Yeah,
right?
like before the Switch even came out, like when they were
Yeah.
showing trailers for the stuff that was coming out on the Switch, they had a teaser for Metroid Prime 4.
That's pretty crazy.
And do you know the whole like backstory to that game? Like what happened?
You've told me bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, like they had some like dipshit studio working on it, and they like Nintendo went in to see what they were doing. They were like, "Oh my god, what are you doing? You're ruining everything." So they just completely scrapped everything and gave it back to Retro,
That's so stupid.
which is probably for the best because Retro made the other Metroid Prime games. So,
Right.
and they also make Donkey Kong Country now. But yeah, that looks cool. I've only played Metroid Prime 1, so I'm gonna have to play the other ones beforehand.
You got
But
a lot of shit to play.
oh yeah, um, but I'm very excited about that. We had a lot of cool announcements.
Yeah. And beyond just announcements, this little expansion DLC came out the other day. I know you haven't started it yet,
Oh yeah,
but
for Elden Ring.
Shadows of the Erdtree, it's pretty cool. It's the least interested I've been in a DLC of their games, outside of Dark Souls 2.
Mm,
Like I feel like I cared more about the story of the DLC in Dark Souls 1, Bloodborne, and Dark Souls 3 more, but
that's fair.
as I get a little deeper into it, I'm starting to understand some more of the story and stuff. I'm
Yeah,
I'm going through it completely blind, so I'm
yeah,
probably going to be ignorant to half the story until I beat it and then watch a body video. But
yeah.
the bosses in it have been pretty cool so far.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
They're pretty par for the course in difficulty, for Elden Ring anyway.
Mm,
The first main boss I fought in the DLC, it's called the Divine Dancing Lion or some shit like that. Its theme is so fucking intense, and the boss fight is intense as well. The theme is really good for the fight.
mm,
Um, but so much shit is happening in that fight on the final phase of the fight that my PS5 was starting to like run bad. Like that's how intense this fucking fight gets. I was like, I've never seen a game on the PS5 drop frames like that. It was or not. It wasn't even like bad. It was just enough to notice, and I was like,
Mm,
what the fuck? This they went all out on this.
that's pretty cool. I'm
It
excited to
it is
get
pretty
to it. I'm
cool.
still I'm replaying the game before I do it. Because you just started a you did it one of your new game plus
Yeah, I
saves.
was going to just do a new save and then get there naturally because I wanted to play it a new game, but
Hmm.
I got very bored of that very quickly. So I just went
I've
ahead and did
been
the new game plus.
having a lot of fun replaying it.
Speaking of doing it in new game or just whenever, did you know that Mog can be like the third main boss you fight?
No.
Yeah, if you do what's his name, Vare, if you do his quest line, you can get to Mog mad
Oh yeah,
quick.
I knew about that.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I got to whenever I was in New Game Plus, the only I think I just started the New Game Plus cycle, which is really stupid because I could have just saved it and been in New Game Plus 2 instead of 3 for the DLC, but I went through and all I had to do was I fought Margit, then I fought Godric, then I fought Renala, and then I fought Radon, and then I fought Mog, and I'm in the DLC.
Nice.
Which it took a lot less time than I thought it would to actually get there, but the DLC is fucking brutal. Um, they have a new system which is pretty cool, so that way you can do it literally whenever you want, and you can't be over leveled for the DLC. It's just not possible because you take I forget what they're called, but there's an item that you feed into your grace or whatever, and it basically it levels you up for the DLC,
Oh,
and
okay.
it makes you scale for the DLC. So the more of those you get, the better you get.
That's
And then
interesting.
there's a separate one for your bell summons too, so they get stronger. But
Hmm.
it is really cool, like just the scaling, how it works and stuff. But and they're fairly generous with it too if you explore enough. So there's there hasn't been any roadblocks in it for me so far, and I have no idea how far I am into it, but I've already fought like 5 bosses. So
It's really interesting. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm excited to
all
get
the
to
weapons
it.
are pretty cool too.
See, I'm
But
very curious to see what the story is all about. So,
yeah, there's some
um,
pretty cool NPCs you meet fairly early.
that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure that we'll talk more in depth about that once we've both beat it.
yeah,
But I'm glad that you're enjoying it so far.
yeah.
Well, unless there was anything else you wanted to talk about,
No, I think we're ready.
well, let's talk about BioShock.
BioShock.
So this was your recommendation.
It
Um,
was.
and well, what did you think? This was both of our first times actually beating the game.
Yeah.
I went in completely blind. I've played like maybe like an hour of it before. I didn't know like the story or anything.
Hmm.
So this was a completely blind playthrough for me. You already knew some of the like story stuff, but you've never
I
beaten the
knew
game
I
before.
knew exactly half of the twist, which made the other half of the twist more of a twist because I didn't know it existed.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because before I played it years ago, I don't remember. I've seen it a million times, so like I just stopped trying to not see it.
Hmm.
But I knew about the whole "would you kindly mind control" thing.
Yeah, I fucking love that. That's so
I
cool.
did not know that Jack is like a fucking weird like super growth baby that grew up in like mad fast time and like was designed to kill Andrew Ryan and all that shit. And
Yeah,
that twist is really fucking cool too.
yeah, it is.
But as far as the game goes, I tried playing it when I was probably like 10 on the PS3, and I thought it was really scary, so I never beat it. In fact, I never finished the first level. I think
It
when I
is
was a
really
kid,
scary.
I think when I was a kid, I stopped playing like right after you get the first power up with the lightning.
Hmm.
So I only played for like an hour,
Funnily enough, I
but
think that that's where I stopped when I first started playing the game too.
that's pretty funny. But no, the game was a lot more than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was really
because
good.
I just expected like a short and sweet, like kind of action horror type deal. And
Hmm.
like I told you the other day, I thought when you kill Andrew Ryan, I thought that was the end of the game
Yeah,
because I didn't know that Atlas was like the actual antagonist.
yeah, and that's
So I was like,
also
whoa,
pretty cool.
yeah, it's a really cool twist. What did you think of it?
So I kind of knew what I was getting into, more so
Mm-hmm.
than you probably did, because this game is a spiritual successor to System Shock, and I am a big fan of games like that. Like Prey is
Right.
a spiritual successor to System Shock. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the term that they use for those kind of games is like immersive sim. I think this one is less so like that and more so it's more like a streamlined, which isn't a bad thing. But I think this one is a lot easier on a like it's easier for newcomers than like System Shock or Prey
Yeah,
is.
sure.
It's very simple by comparison.
Yeah, it was very simple. I like that the game has just enough RPG elements to where you can kind of choose what you want to have like in your loadout. And
Yes,
like
yeah,
by the end of the game, most of your guns are like there's only two upgrades per gun, so you have most of them by the end of the game, if not all of them.
yeah.
And but it's cool that you can choose the order in which you use them. Like for me, I didn't use the pistol that much, so that was some of the last upgrades I got. So like it's cool that in the early to mid game you can kind of have more of an RPG element, but by the end of the game it's all like you're just overpowered at the end,
Oh yeah,
basically.
yeah, definitely. And it's very similar power scaling to games like System Shock and Prey also, because
Nice.
by the end of Prey you're just fucking butchering
Yeah.
all the enemies.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, this game was a very fun.
Yeah, it
Um,
was.
the way that it was like laid out, like all like how you like explore stuff to find more tonics and plasmids. Um, it was a very fun gameplay loop. And
Yeah.
I like thoroughly explored all of the levels, like trying to get like everything because I just wanted to.
Hmm.
And I had a lot of, especially early on, there was a few really cool uh, exploration things.
Yeah.
Um, like in the area that's like frozen.
Hmm.
Um,
And you kept using incinerate.
yeah, you can get into the crematorium and get incinerate.
Yeah.
And there's like a body that you can like put into a cremator or whatever the fuck those things are called. And if you burn them and like they come out and they're like atonic now, like that was really cool. I thought because
Oh, that is cool.
it was just a body you could like push in there and then like you didn't know that anything was gonna happen.
I didn't do that. That's
Yeah,
cool.
it is cool. I forget which one it gives you, but yeah, it
Yeah,
was really
I
cool.
thought it was really cool that you know, obviously you can buy tonics and stuff from the shop, but you can also find them, and then you can find all the shit everywhere on the map basically. And I thought that was really cool too,
Hmm.
because it's like it's really rewarding to like look in a random fucking area, like a random ass room that the objective doesn't even tell you to go to, and it's like, oh, there's fucking some security camera tonic or some shit.
Yeah.
You know, real cool stuff.
Um, even like so like starting at like the very beginning of the game, the menu is really cool. Um,
Yeah.
the like it has really like creepy like music that plays.
Mm-hmm.
Like it starts out like as like classical music, but it's like on like this like scary radio, and like it kind of like
Yeah.
drones out and like starts like playing this like
Mm-hmm.
scary sound.
I'll say
Um,
this, man. This might be one of the most atmospheric games of all
it
time.
is very atmospheric.
Like you, like in the beginning of the game, I don't want to say scared because I'm an adult and I'm not a pussy, but like I was for to put it as simply as possible, I was afraid of the beginning of the game just
Yeah.
because, I'm just walking around with a wrench
Yeah,
and
the
there's all
beginning of this
these
game is scary.
it is. And then like the music helps, you're constantly hearing voices and stuff. And like even when you get stronger in the game and you have weapon upgrades and you have stronger atom abilities and shit,
Mm,
you're not afraid anymore, but you never lose that uneasiness because you just never know what you're going to walk into in the next room,
yeah.
you know?
And the
And
audio
it's just
design
great.
also helps a lot with the like scary atmosphere because like you'll hear people just like talking in other rooms like not far away
Mm-hmm.
from you. You can hear Big Daddy stomping around. Like the
Yes.
screen shakes when they get really close.
I thought that was a really good gameplay design thing too with the screen shaking because it's like you can hear them from pretty fucking far away.
Yeah.
So I would always be super paranoid, but then once I realized, oh, when they're like in the same room or coming towards my room and the screen starts shaking, I was like, okay, that's when I actually need to start watching doorways and shit.
Yeah.
Which that that happened probably more than a handful of times where I'd be leaving a room or walking into a room and as I'm getting closer, the door opens before I know it should. And like a big daddy just walks out and I'm like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
So, those are like no matter how powerful I felt in the game, if a big daddy saw me before I saw it, I got scared.
Yeah, it is definitely like adrenaline pumping like
Yeah.
encounter.
Yeah, cuz like if you don't get the jump on them, you can potentially waste so many resources.
Oh,
It's insane.
definitely.
But if you get a jump on them, like what I would do towards the late game is I would set up like a trip mine or two on my path because they do that charge attack or whatever sometimes.
Yeah.
I would do that to those big daddies, and then I'd just start fucking headshotting with the crossbow, and it's like I legitimately kill them in like 5 seconds.
Oh, that's cool. I never used the crossbow on them. I just got them in like a loop of like electrifying them and then like emptying my grenade launcher into them.
Yeah,
And I used a
yeah
lot of like
the
the electric shotgun bolts.
yeah those the electric bucks.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Yeah, no, the crossbow fucks, dude. The crossbow's like actually probably the best weapon in the
I
game.
believe it. It fucking
Um,
murders like standard enemies.
yeah, if you get a headshot, it's just over with. So there's that. You have the upgrade where it just flat increases the damage of it. You have another upgrade where they're less likely to break when you shoot them, so you can just constantly like. That's why I thought it was so good is that I would spend like 5 bolts on a Big Daddy, and then when I'd go to loot the body, I'd be able to pick like 3 of them back up. So
Yeah.
it's like I
And
didn't
one
really
of
lose anything.
yeah, and one of the upgrades makes it so your bolts don't break as often too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good. Um,
What
but that
what kind of build did you have by the end of the game, like with your tonics and stuff?
um
Did you do
I had
anything like
a
specific or?
for the longest time I had like I was using the wrench a lot because there's the tonic you get where you swing and move faster with it. There's the one where you freeze enemies when you hit them with the
Yes.
wrench. Uh, there's also the one ability where when an enemy hits you, you have like a static discharge around you. That one's really fucking busted.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, there's also the stealth one where if an enemy doesn't see you coming, the wrench does more damage or whatever. Like so I spent a lot of resources on making the wrench really good because I didn't want to waste a lot of ammo. But towards the end of the game, I stopped using the wrench, so I took those all off in place for like more like deal more damage with fire, take less fire damage, shit like
See,
that.
I did the opposite that you did. Like for the entire game up until like Hephaestus,
Uh huh.
I had like all like I don't even remember what I had equipped, but it wasn't like wrench shit. And then
Yeah.
I got a tonic that made it so that when you slap people with the wrench, it heals you.
Yeah, I had that
Um,
one too.
and I was like, holy shit, that's kind of cool. I should start using the wrench more. And I looked in my stuff, and I had like 5 fucking ones that were just wrench ones.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I equipped the one that like made you faster and made you swing the wrench faster. I had 2 damage increases to the wrench, and
Nice.
I had the one that freezes people when you hit them. So I
Nice.
was going around like just fucking like like sprinting into people and like hitting them in the head with the wrench, and they would just instantly get like fucking annihilated.
Yeah. I know my favorite combo of tonics I had in the game was I used there's a tonic for the I think it's engineering or whatever it is they call it, where you had the discounted shop prices.
Yeah, yeah,
I had that and the upgraded version at the same time, so like in the end of the game health packs were costing like $10 or some shit
that's
at some
awesome.
stations. It was super cheap. It was awesome.
Yeah, I never really fucked around with those because I felt like I always had plenty of money.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was weird how the money capped out at 500 though, because like
I thought that was weird too.
it has like four tickers on it, like it's gonna get into like four digits, but it never
Right.
did.
Yeah, I didn't even know that it capped out at 500 until the very towards the very end when you're escorting the little sisters.
Yeah.
That's where I finally capped out, and I was like, really? That's
See,
kind of weird.
I capped out when I got to a Sandra Cohen's area because it's like the slot machine area.
Oh, did you stay there for a while?
Yeah, there was a trophy for winning a jackpot on one of the slot machines. So I was like, okay, I'll just stand here and do this for a little bit.
That's funny. I
Um,
know
and
when
yeah,
I went
it
in
like it
there,
caps out your wallet when you win.
that's funny. I when I went there, I think I had like $15 when I found the first slot machine. So, and it cost like 10 to use it, so I used it and I won like $30 or $25, something like that. And I was like, well, I made more money than I spent. I'm never going to do this again. So, I was like, we'll do that's I'm happy with that. I don't know how much you used it. There's a tonic, I think it's called Scrounger, where you can like like refresh when you search something and get like a reroll on it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did you ever use that?
I used it a little bit. For the most part, it wasn't really doing anything for me. Like it wasn't like improving my drops that much, so I just
I
swapped it out.
I used it the whole fucking game.
That's awesome. Did
It
it
was
ever?
so good.
Okay.
It was so good because I would like if I had like maxed out on trip mines or something and I couldn't pick any more up, and I searched like a bomb box or whatever the grenade box.
Mm.
Search one of those and it'd be like three trip mines in it or something, and then I refresh it and it's like, oh, now it has two heat-seeking missiles, and it's like, oh, cool, I can actually pick that up.
That is
So
cool.
there was a lot of times where that happened, or like it was especially good with the splicers because you know how you can pick up, I think it's like their heart you can pick up and counts as like
Yeah.
a med
Yeah.
kit or whatever. I would reroll on them so much, like I constantly had 9 health packs because of that. It was so nice.
Yeah, a lot of cool tonics.
Yeah.
A lot of cool like build variety and stuff.
Hmm.
Whereas in a game like Prey or I think System Shock does have like abilities like that at some point. I don't know how they work because I haven't gotten that far in the game.
Right.
But in Prey, it's like a actual like skill tree where you just unlock stuff and you just have it.
That's cool.
But in this game is really interesting the way it does it because like yeah, you can only have so many equipped at a time and you have so many to choose from.
Hmm.
It was very cool. It like encourages you to like swap things around and experiment.
Right. I really like too the segment where when you're like trying to get rid of the mind control or whatever, and it fucks with your head, and you're switching plasmids like
Oh yeah,
every
yeah,
once in a while. I thought that was really cool because I used a few that I hadn't used like at all during the game,
yeah,
like
yeah.
target dummy. I never used that like outside of that segment, but that's a really fun one
It
because
is. Yeah,
you can just run through a room and throw one down, and then just run to the next room, and they won't follow you. It's really nice.
yeah.
And then
Because it gives you ones that you don't even have unlocked too. I think.
yeah, yeah, it did because I don't think I had target dummy when I got that. Um, I pretty much I liked a lot of the plasmids in the game. I think the only one I didn't like, I didn't use insect swarm actually. I never tried that
It
one.
wasn't really that good. I don't
I
think.
kind of figured it wasn't, but I never used that one, and I never used sonic boom either.
Yeah, I don't think I ever even bought that one.
Well, I lied. I did use it. That's the one I didn't like.
Okay.
I was not a fan of that one.
Yeah, the only ones I used like a lot were like the electricity one, um, and I used anger for a little bit, but like it really stopped being good like halfway through the game.
Oh, really? I didn't
The
use that one much at all.
the hypnotize Big Daddy one fucking sucks.
Yeah, I had that one during my the segment where it randomizes them, and I thought it wasn't great.
Yeah, because the Big Daddy doesn't like he doesn't fucking do anything until
No,
like you're actually in like just complete like total danger.
right,
And then you have to worry about him like becoming hostile and he's still following you around.
right. Yeah, it can kind
So
of
yeah,
fuck you over.
that one fucking sucked.
Yeah,
Um,
for most of the game, I just used Electro Bolt, Incinerate, the telekinesis, and what else did I have? I think I had Winter Blast, but I didn't use it much.
yeah, I didn't use that one very much either.
Really, I just as far as like offense, I just switched between Incinerate and Electro Bolt.
Yeah, Electro Bolt was definitely the most useful one because you could stun people, like you could stun Big Daddies with it.
Yeah, and there was a lot of areas in the game too that had like pools of water where you could take out multiple enemies at once.
Yeah,
So, and there's a lot of areas in the game too that have like gasoline on the floor, so you can use Incinerate. But of course, that doesn't stun them; it just does damage.
yeah.
So, but it is
Incinerate
cool.
and Electrocute also have a lot of like exploration stuff that you can do with them.
Yeah.
Because like there's doors you can only open with like the Electro Ball,
Hmm.
and the
All the ice you can
yeah, the
melt.
ice you can melt.
Yeah.
And telekinesis was really useful too for like the missile launchers and like trying to get stuff
Hmm.
from far away.
Yeah, that is always fun.
But yeah, I think that a lot of the plasmids were like kind of hit or miss.
Yeah,
But the ones that were good though were really cool.
I used Security Bullseye for a while too. That one was fun
Yeah,
because
I
you just walk in a room and if you see a camera, just fucking throw it. And it's like, oh, the bad guys will trigger it now, so I don't
yeah.
have to worry about that.
See, the thing about that though is that after a certain point, like I really liked the hacking mini game, so I kind of at a certain point just went around and
Uh-oh.
started hacking everything. So like I didn't even need security bulls, like because people would just walk in there to like an area where I had already hacked everything, and they just
Hmm.
get fucked.
Yeah. Uh, Here's literally my only complaint about the game. I grew to hate the hacking minigames.
I mean,
I
it does
was
definitely happen too much, but
no, well, it's I enjoyed it, but I found that I was constantly getting fucked over. Where like literally, let's say, it's on the bottom left, right?
mhm.
That's where it starts, and it has to end on the top right. And I would start, and like the first one, the first tube, we'll say it's one of the ones that like curves to the right.
Yeah,
Okay. So I would obviously take out like that quarter of the grid to see which way to go. I'd be like, okay, I need to go this way. And it would almost always be that there was exactly one specific change I had to make by the second tube, or I would fucking lose. And I wouldn't find out until closer to the end because I'd be like halfway done with the path, and I'm clearing out the board, and I'm like, okay, let's see how I end this now. And I'd go to end it, and there'd just be like four bombs in a row, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, now I have to not let it go all the way, or the alarm's gonna set. So
yeah,
that's cool.
yeah. There
But
was a few times where it fucked me over. Um, but once you get enough tonics that like it like
now
slows
I'll
down the
admit,
progression and like takes away alarm tiles and stuff.
yeah, I'll admit the only tonic I did that influenced those is the slowdown. I never equipped the one that gets rid of the alarm tiles or anything like that, which, if I had that much of a problem, I probably should have, but
Yeah,
I had other stuff equipped that I didn't want to get rid of,
yeah,
but
that's all right. I mean, if your gameplay was designed around not hacking that often, there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah, I mean, really, the only thing I ever hacked really was depending on the area, I would hack the alarm bots
Hmm.
because I'm like, okay, I know there's like 10 more fucking enemies. I want to have something with me. Or I started hacking a lot actually towards the end of the game when you had to protect the little sister because
Yes, yeah.
I was like, okay, but by then though I already had like 5 auto hacks, so I was just like, I'm just gonna walk up to this turret, click that, walk back to her. I'm happy.
See, I
So
I save the auto hacks for like safes and stuff because those are
I
brutal. Some of those are fucking
yeah
brutal.
I usually save them for safes, but if I was in like a quick spot, like if I'm running from enemies and I see a turret, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna auto hack this real
Yeah,
quick.
it's
I don't have
fair.
time to make a mistake.
Yeah.
But yeah, the safes, gotta save them for the safes. And I like that you could craft them too.
Yes, yeah.
I thought the U invent mechanic was really fucking cool too.
Yes, it was.
Um, and that's another reason the that one tonic where you could reroll your finds. That one was really good for finding like crafting materials because I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I know I already have a shit ton of these, so let's refresh it. And I'd get something else. And it's like, oh, cool. Now I can go make another med kit or like make an auto hack tool or more ammo, whatever.
Donovan,
Huh.
you are going to love Prey when we get to it.
Okay.
It's you're gonna love it. You're gonna love the way they
Okay.
do that shit in that game.
I'm excited.
um,
Very excited.
but yeah, it was a very simple crafting mechanic, but it worked. It worked really well. It was
Yeah.
nice being able to walk up to it and just okay, I have this stuff. I can make a few like missiles, or
Hmm.
I can make some special ammo because I'm running low on it.
Right.
Um,
I really like that you don't ever have to find any like recipes for it. It's literally just you just make it if you have it.
yeah,
Because a lot of games, I feel like where you have crafting like that, you have to find like fucking recipes for it, or like this is a big meme right now with the Elden Ring DLC, where it's like you know how items in Elden Ring, there's the three rarities where it's like there's the white glowing light, the purple, and then the legendary or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
A lot of people are shitting on it because they'll see a purple and they're like, I swear to God, if this is another fucking cookbook, dude, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
See, I
And
like I like finding those.
I do too, but that's a meme right now.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
and there is a lot in the early
There
game of the
is, yeah.
DLC.
I've never
Um,
played the DLC, but there's a lot of them in like the base game too.
yeah, but no, I like that you can just go into the crafting perfectly fine. I also like that whenever you upgrade a gun, there's no fucking you don't need any unlock materials. You just walk up to it, pick whatever you want, you got it.
Yeah,
You know, it's there's no extra shit. Your reward you just have to find it. That's
yeah.
all. So it's really cool. Which I think I want to say I missed like 4 or 5 of them because I think the last one I picked I had like 5 or 6 options left. Do you know how many you found?
I had all the upgrades except for I think two of them by the end of the
Okay,
game.
nice.
I definitely missed. I definitely missed two of them because I didn't have two of the upgrades. But I probably could have gone back and found them, but I
Right.
wasn't about to do that.
That leads me to my next question. What did you not upgrade?
I think one of them was the crossbow upgrade that wasn't the bolt one.
Okay.
I forget what it was.
The only two crossbow upgrades were the ones where your bolts don't break as often and just a flat damage
Oh, maybe
increase.
maybe I did get both of those then.
I
Um,
know the ones I didn't get. I did not get the range on the flamethrower.
I bet I
Um,
didn't get that either. I don't think I
I
got
def
either of those.
I got the other upgrade for it because the other one was that you just use less ammo whenever
Hmm.
you hold it down. Which did you use that gun much?
I used it a little bit. I mostly used the electric gel stuff on
Uh
like
huh.
Big Daddies and stuff.
The liquid nitrogen on Big Daddies, fucked,
Oh, really?
dude. If you held it down until they were frozen for like 4 seconds straight.
Oh, really?
It was so fucking good. Like I could freeze them, not use any plasmid, and then just get 2 crossbow shots in and half their health's gone.
Holy shit.
It was fucking crazy. And then but yeah, that one's really good. What else did I not get? I know I only got there's 2 pistol upgrades and I only got the one that increases damage. I don't remember what the other one was.
I think it was accuracy or something.
Probably that that was frustrating me a little bit
Oh
in the
no, it
early
was clip
game.
size. It was clip size.
Was it okay? I was gonna say the accuracy of the pistol was pissing me off in the early game because I'd go to shoot like if a Big Daddy set a mine, I would go to shoot it with my pistol and I would just miss by like a foot and I'm like, come the
Yeah,
fuck on.
yeah.
Which, by the
Those trip
way,
wires, the electric trip wires, fucking
the
sucked.
Twip
Yeah,
Wiles.
the twip wires.
the Here's something funny. I don't know if I'm just retarded or if you are. I don't. Let me know if you're also retarded. I didn't know you could aim with the guns until like three-quarters through the game.
I knew you could, but I never fucking used it.
I only ever used it whenever I was getting like a stealth kill with the crossbow because I'm like I don't want to miss this.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't remember how I found out. I think I like accidentally pressed it at one point with the machine gun and I just aimed down sights and I was like, what the fuck? It's like I could do this the whole time.
Yeah, it's
That's fucking crazy.
yeah, it's on the one of the sticks. And like I don't know, I never really felt the need to do it.
Yeah,
It's not really the combat system unless you're doing like a stealth build, I guess, like with the crossbow.
sure.
That never really demands accuracy, really.
Mm-mm.
So at least for combat.
Yeah, I never found that the hip firing the guns were ever so inaccurate that it felt like it mattered. Like most of the game, if they were further away, I used the machine gun or the pistol, and if they were closer, I'd use the shotgun.
Hmm.
And I never felt like it was
Honestly, I
bad.
for a while I used anti-personnel machine gun rounds as like I fired it singly into people's heads and just one shot them with it.
Yeah, that stuff's really good. That's what I did a lot. Is unless if an enemy was right in my face, that's when I would like hold down the trigger for the machine gun.
Mm,
Otherwise, I'm single firing it
yeah,
across rooms and stuff.
because it was really accurate.
Yeah, and you can get the upgrade to increase or decrease rather the recoil,
Hmm.
and then the other one that just increases the damage. Which was those were the first two upgrades I got because I was like, I always have a surplus of machine gun ammo because
Yeah,
you're constantly getting it from turrets. You're constantly like, when you pick up ammo, it's like 20 shots,
yeah,
whereas with a shotgun, you're picking up like 2 to 4 at a time. So, or like pistol, you're only picking up six.
yeah.
So you
It
definitely
was
got the most bang for your buck with the machine gun. I felt like,
yeah, it was definitely your biggest like ammo pool.
yeah,
Yeah, all the weapons were cool.
yeah. I
They
think
were all
this
useful in their own
honestly
way.
this honestly might be one of the first games like this where like you have a big weapon wheel like that where I seriously used every single weapon
Doom,
a lot.
Doom.
Doom, yeah, sure.
Oh, the BioShock came out first.
Yeah,
Before Doom 2016, that is, not original Doom.
right. Did I say first when I was talking about that?
What?
Never mind.
I was correcting myself just in case anyone thought I was talking about the original Doom.
Oh, um, did you use the camera much?
Yeah, yeah. There's
Yeah.
actually a Prey has a scanning mechanic too. It's a little bit different, but so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was accustomed to like doing stuff like that in these kinds
Yeah.
of games, and yeah,
I
the camera mechanic is actually really decent.
Yeah, I used it a lot more than I thought I would actually because in a lot of games I can't really say there's a lot of games that are like that, but in games where you have to study an enemy to get better at killing them and stuff, I usually just ignore that and I know
Hmm.
that it makes the game harder. Uh I don't care. I usually just I'm not into that, but
Yeah.
in this game it feels pretty natural because of the way they introduce the camera mechanic.
Yes.
So like I just and you also it's cool to me too that you get like a grade for it because it's like
Yes.
oh
Well,
multiple subjects action shots
it's
stuff like that.
it's like they ripped it like I don't know if this game came out before Dead Rising or not, but it feels just like the camera in Dead Rising because like
Oh
you get a
yeah,
grade for it and you get like points for it.
right.
In this game you get XP towards like that specific enemy, and like when you
Right.
level up you get more damage on them, and then like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you get a plasmid, sometimes you like unlock a new ability like being able to eat the hearts of the spider splicers
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
It was a really good mechanic.
yeah, I'm glad I used it more than I thought I would because it ended up helping me more than I
Yeah.
thought it would too.
There was also a trophy that I thought was really funny. So you know how in the Sander Cohen segment, you have to like take pictures of all the dead bodies and stuff.
Hmm.
There's a
Yeah.
trophy for taking a picture of Sander Cohen's dead body. It's called like
That's
irony or something.
that is pretty funny. I uh I would have cared more about the trophies if this wasn't one of the games where you have to beat it like multiple times.
Yeah, I'm definitely never gonna
Um,
platinum it, but
yeah. Anytime a trophy list says to beat it on every difficulty, and it's like I'm not unless it's like one of my favorite fucking games of all time. I'm
yeah.
not gonna do that. Uh, Speaking of favorite games of all time, where did you say this ended up
Oh
landing on your
yeah.
list?
Let me see real quick. It is at number 22, right behind Metroid Prime 1 and above Undertale.
Nice. Mine landed at 28. I gave it an 8.9 out of 10.
Oh, you
It
gave it an
is,
actual rating.
yeah, after I beat it today, I spent like 30 minutes transferring my little notepad thing on my phone to an actual website on my computer.
Oh, nice.
And I have my top, since I added BioShock, it's now my top 51 games, um, ranging from Red Dead 2 to a game I'll talk about later, perhaps. Um, But yeah, I put BioShock at 28 in between Soma and Resident Evil 2,
Nice.
which is a funny little like trio of horror games.
Yeah.
Which I almost put it above Soma, but I'm such a sucker for that game. Like I feel like that game obviously that's more of an actual horror game, and I
Yeah.
think the story resonates more with me and the
Yeah.
whole you definitely feel the dread of being underwater more in that game
Oh,
and
yeah,
than in
definitely.
BioShock. But
Yeah, that game is fucking terrifying.
yeah. But BioShock's pretty high on my list, so.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you recommended this because I never would have even like thought of it.
Mm,
And like I said, I'm a huge fan of these kinds of games. Like I love these fucking types of games, and
right.
this was a really solid one. Um, let me see. Um, yeah, right away I started realizing like how similar it was to like specifically System Shock. Like
Hmm.
the vats that it has that like you revive from when you die, and like you revive like there's no like reset. You kind
Yeah.
of just continue from where you left off, but you
Right.
just spawn in that area. System Shock has the exact same thing in that, except you have to like actually like take control of them before you can resurrect.
Oh yeah.
Um,
See, me personally, I only use the what were they called? Resurrection tanks or whatever,
yeah, it was something like that.
something like that. I only use that like 3 times.
Yeah, I only used it like once because I sometimes I just rather like reload my save than
That's what I did almost every time
yeah.
because the first session I played, I played for like a few hours. Uh, I don't remember. Oh yeah, I was doing a hacking mini game and the game froze completely.
Oh really?
So yeah, so I was like, oh fuck, okay. And then I had to reload my last save, which I lost like 30 minutes because I wasn't saving.
That
It was
sucks.
I think it was an auto save actually that I loaded into. But after that, I was saving quite a bit. So every time I died, I was like, okay, if I reload a save, I'm only going to be put back like a few minutes. So it's whatever. I
Yeah.
saved so much that I was often having to delete saves actually.
Oh, you made like separate saves?
Yeah, because well, I do that anyway, just because like you never fucking know.
See,
But
I'm a fucking like I feel sick when I have more than like three saves on my screen, so I only made one save and then like had the auto save.
that's funny. No, yeah, I always I'm weird. I do that with the Resident Evil games too, which
Mm.
you
Those
know,
that makes sense with those games because like there's like a certain amount of like strategy that can be had with having multiple saves in that game.
true. But either way, um, yeah, I oh, excuse me. I saved a lot, and I won't lie. There were one or two. There were. I was gonna say one or two, but I'll be honest. It was a handful of occasions where I save scummed to hack a safe.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
just
that's
because
that's fair.
I was like, I got like $12. I want to get in this safe and see what it is.
Yeah.
So I only started doing that after I got fucked over a bunch, though.
Yeah. I don't think that I ever like really save scummed. There was definitely a few points where like I would like be about to walk into a room and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna fucking put down a save here because there's like people in here.
Yeah,
But I rarely ever like had to like actually like save scum my way through any because like I said, really like the hacking mini games for the most part.
right,
And for the safes, I usually just had the hacking tools to do it automatically.
right, yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with doing that though. If they give you the option to make saves whenever you want, that's gonna be something that you do.
Oh, for sure.
Um, which I'm glad that this game did give you the option to save whenever, because I feel like save rooms would have been a fucking pain in the ass in
It
this
would have
game.
sucked,
Yeah.
dude. It would have sucked.
That's something that I think a lot, like all of these kinds of games do, is they just have saving like whenever the fuck you want, like System Shock does and Prey does, and those are the only two that exist.
Yeah.
That's not true, but
Um, yeah, I liked the map of the game a lot, like exploring and stuff.
oh yeah, it was great.
Me personally, I know as far as video games go, no, just probably in general, you're smarter than me. Um, I get lost really fucking easily,
Yeah, yeah.
especially in games like this. Like I'm not very good at finding shit out. But
And games like Security Breach.
yeah, yeah. Uh, this game is like the perfect amount of getting lost because I would get lost for a little bit, like no more than 10 minutes.
Hmm.
And then I'd look at the map and be like, oh man, maybe I should recheck this room. I was only in there for a few minutes. And
Yeah,
I would go there
the levels
and
aren't
it's like,
that big.
no, they're not. And there's a lot of, I won't say a lot, but there's quite a few missions where it's just you have to go find items to assemble something. And never once was I like, oh, I might need to look this up. Like they were all fairly like not easy to find, but like I never once got stuck.
Yeah, and the game does give you like a pointer for like a lot of the like when you know
Yeah.
where you're supposed to go, the game gives you a pointer pointing you in the right direction too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That too.
Which
Um.
I think that's a little bit overkill. Like this game definitely feels like it was made to be like intuitive for like people new to these kind of games.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't mind it, but it felt like it was kind of holding your hand a little bit more than a lot of these games
Sure.
do.
Sure. Yeah.
I feel like that's a lot of the reason this one is so popular too, because like I mean, Prey obviously has its like fan base and stuff, but like it never blew up.
Right.
People fucking love these games.
Yeah. I will say, leaning into what you said with the pointer telling you where to go and this, that, and all that. BioShock is deceptively easy. Like,
Deceptively, yes.
yeah, it's like because going into it, like we said earlier, the beginning's pretty scary and all this stuff, but you get I won't say overpowered, but you get powerful pretty early,
Oh yeah,
and then once you hit that, you don't ever feel weak again. You know,
yeah.
um, you just progressively get stronger and stronger as the game goes on. I wanted to ask you also, what did you think of the final fight, the boss fight?
It was a little bit weird.
It was a
Um,
little weird, right?
yeah, it definitely that felt like it was coming straight out of like System Shock with like the fucking shit like attached to him, like
Yeah.
energy being like siphoned into him.
Mhm.
Um, and like detaching him from the thing, and he like chases you around the room.
Yeah.
Um, it was a cool fight. It was kind of it
It
was kind of
was.
weird though.
Yeah, when I was going up the elevator, I was I was kind of expecting it to be more like the Andrew Ryan level where you just go in there and kind of a cutscene happens and then he dies.
Hmm.
Uh I I don't know exactly what I was picturing because you ran into him earlier in the game whenever he was teleporting around and you were chasing him before you got the Big Daddy suit or whatever.
Yeah,
But so I knew it was going to be more of a fight, I guess, but I did not expect the whole like mutated Atlas thing. I thought
yeah.
that was. It's definitely not as much of a ass pull as like Titan Joker or something
Oh,
like
definitely
that.
not. No.
But it definitely gameplay wise, it didn't feel weird because he was just a more he was basically if a Big Daddy had plasmid abilities, like that's what the fight was.
Pretty much, yeah.
Which is cool, but
I thought the fight was actually really easy.
it was extremely easy,
Yeah.
dude.
There is a part
Uh,
where he like gets goons to like come in, and it gets a little bit stressful then because there's like five people in the room while he's like chasing you around.
yeah, that one.
But you easily dispose of them because they're just
Yeah,
normal people.
I almost completely negated that because I just set trip mines everywhere,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, fair
we
enough.
didn't talk about it earlier, but the launcher had an upgrade where you don't deal damage to yourself anymore.
Yes, yes, that
Uh,
one was
that
really good.
that one's insanely busted for levels like that where there's just a bunch of enemies. So, uh, but yeah, the boss fight was it was cool. It was unexpected, definitely. I enjoyed it though.
Yeah, it was good.
I thought the ending as a whole is a little abrupt. Like
Yes,
it just kind of happens.
and you got the bad ending too.
Yeah, I looked up the good ending. The good ending is way better than the bad ending,
Yeah.
but it was the bad ending kind of I won't say it sucks, but it's definitely I was it was one of those things where usually when a game ends and it has multiple endings, I'm just like, "Oh, cool. That's the ending I got. I'm happy with that."
Mm.
As soon as I beat BioShock and got the bad ending, I was like, "Oh, I have to see what the good ending is right now because there's no way." But like I said, the good ending is a lot better. It's a lot sweeter.
Yeah.
Uh, but both endings are like minute long cutscenes.
Oh
I
yeah,
feel like
yeah. Super, super like fucking in and out.
super
Which
fast.
for a game like this, that's kind of all you need because
Yeah,
like
which yeah,
there wasn't much story to wrap up anyway.
no, I do
Um.
like there is there is a decent amount of story really
Oh
if you
yeah.
like if you're paying attention to everything and you're collecting a bunch of logs and stuff.
Yeah,
But
I mean more so like the like end of your story. Like
right,
the main
Jack
character.
story.
Yeah, I didn't even know his name was Jack. Like he doesn't really have a character other than like when you find out that he's like a fucking like lab grown baby.
Yeah,
Which we already talked about the final boss. Let's talk about like Atlas and that stuff. Um, the plot twist in this game is it's really cool because
yeah.
like from the very beginning this guy's kind of like holding your hand and like telling you like, oh, you should go do this, you should go do this, would you kindly, and stuff.
Hmm.
um and when it gets turned on its head and you figure out that like, oh, you're actually like a fucking like brain slave that's like just been like had a keyword,
Yeah,
it's been telling you what to do. It's really cool.
your sleeper age.
Yeah. um
I think that's the best kind of twist where like you would never suspect anything. Like you could pick up that he was constantly saying, "Would you kindly?"
yeah,
Like you can pick that up and
but
not
that could
even
have
like
just been like his character though.
right. That's what I'm getting at is that it's like it's one of those things where it's like fairly innocent. Like there's no reason to think about it past just him saying it. But then like once you, it's one of those twists where like you as the player really like you pause the game, you look around your room, and you're just like, what the fuck,
Yeah, it
you know?
completely took me by surprise.
Yeah, it's incredible,
Yeah.
really.
There were a few like really weird things though that I was thinking about.
Uh huh.
Like him pretending to have like a family that gets blown up.
Yeah,
Like
that part
why did he do that?
that was the that was the main thing of the story that I didn't like so much,
Yeah.
and looking back at it because it's like you could have tricked me without doing that.
Yeah.
It's just
And like he had no reason to do it cuz like he already had control of your brain. Like he
right.
didn't need you to feel like sympathy for him or anything.
Yeah,
Um
I guess in a way it makes sense because when you first get to Rapture and he's like, "Hey, you should help me. I'll help you if you help me find my family or whatever." As opposed to being like, "Hey, I'll help you if you kill this guy."
I guess so, but like that's more so to like trick the player than
It
anything
is.
because
It is, but I'm just trying to be a little more lenient with it
yeah, yeah.
because like if I if I'm not so psychopathic that if I went to an underwater city and someone was like, "Hey, I'll help you get out of here. You just got to kill someone." I wouldn't immediately just be like, "I trust this guy completely. Let's go kill this guy."
Yeah,
But the whole family thing, I feel like that was just a means to kind of get Jack into it,
I guess so.
you know.
I the only thing I could the only reason I can think of that he would have done it is to like trick Ryan, but like even then like it's still pretty paper thin.
Yeah.
And like I didn't think they were gonna talk about it at all after the plot twist happened. But then like when you're walking up to like fight him, he's like, "Oh, I really got you with that one. Oh, my wife. Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
yeah."
Um
The
I
other
w-
thing that was kind of weird to me was Ryan just kind of like telling you to kill him because like realistically he could have like gotten away with everything.
yeah.
So that was kind of weird.
Yeah, I think with that he was just kind of like, my dream paradise, it's already gone to shit because
Yeah,
of Alice's revolution and stuff, and a lot, like 90% of the people are already dead anyway,
yeah.
or they're splicers, so it's like at that point, he's just burning down with his ship at that point.
Yeah, and I mean it was a really cool scene.
Yeah, it
Like
was.
like a man chooses, a slave obeys. Like that's a really cool
Yeah,
line.
Andrew, man, he's filled to the brim with quotable shit
Yeah,
in this
he's a
game.
great villain. Like he was a lot better than Fontaine was.
Yeah, he was. Even still, I liked Fontaine as a
Yeah,
villain, but
he was cool.
he was cool. But Andrew Ryan is definitely one of the better villains I've seen in a video
Yeah,
game.
the thing with Fontaine, I kind of like his voice was kind of funny. Like you know, kid. Like I kept thinking of like Josh when he was talking.
Yeah.
Like oh you boyo.
just I'm imagining, like, whenever they talk to you in game, the little like icon pops up on the bottom right.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining like a still profile shot of Josh. Oi boyo, really got you with that one. Like, that's funny. Uh yeah, I liked Andrew Ryan a lot. I liked his character. I liked his whole philosophy with the whole rapture stuff.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
And like it's almost kind of like sad because like it's a like he kind of had good intentions and then like everything just like went so fucking horrifically wrong, which like I mean he's still a bad guy because like
Yeah.
he's like crazy,
Yeah.
but
No, like you said though, he had good intentions and it almost worked, but then he had the whole plasmid thing with little
yeah,
sisters and the factories and shit. And after that it's like, okay, well shit. And because of that, honestly, neither of the villains are any more evil than the other one.
yeah, no, everyone in this
But
game is a piece of shit
yeah, it's great.
except I guess like
The
maybe like Tenenbaum, but even she like has like blood on her hands with like the little sister program and stuff.
right. I liked a lot of the characters in this game. I felt like some characters were like almost uh on like Borderlands level of insanity.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because 2K also made those games,
Oh yeah,
um,
yeah.
but or worked on them, whatever. But I thought a lot of the game was, there were some funny moments because of people being crazy. There were scary moments because of people being crazy. I
Yes.
think they hit a perfect blend with all the character types and stuff in the game.
Yeah, this game definitely had a sense of humor. Like
Yeah.
it was trying to make you laugh. It never like you were never laughing at the game for the most part.
No, I think the only I mean, The only time I'd say I was laughing at the game would be like when one of the spider splicers would be like doing backflips and I'd hit them with the wrench and they
Oh
just
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
fly backwards or something. And it's like, that's funny though, because if someone was doing a backflip and you hit them in the fucking chin with a wrench, that would happen.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's not so ridiculous that it's like, oh, the game's stupid, haha. It's like, no, that's what would happen.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
I guess that audio diary thing about like the doctor trying to get the kid to break the puppy's neck. I guess that's supposed to be like a really like fucked up thing, but I thought that was funny.
Yeah. No, it's I think that yeah, that's definitely more of a you thing.
It is fucked up, but I think the line "Please break that sweet puppy's neck" is just really funny to me.
It's one of those things where it's like you kind of have to laugh because you'd have never imagined hearing that said before. You
If
know,
you didn't say that sweet puppy, it wouldn't be funny.
right?
But like, I don't know. That doctor guy was also like just kind of a funny character too.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, kind of on the Borderlands level of insanity.
Yeah. I love how when you find his corpse, and like there's just like a fucking giant drill in him because one of the big daddies killed him.
Yeah, yeah. I like how much of the game like obviously Big Daddies are like your biggest threat throughout the game, but and you can tell because like with that, there's a lot of moments where you see like their destruction just throughout levels and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I also like that you just randomly find dead ones all over the place too.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, so like I'm not the only cool guy here. That's cool. You know.
Yeah.
It's like they're not invincible and I they're not just invincible and I'm like some awesome hero. Like if they get fucked, they can get fucked.
Yeah, because you run into like NPCs trying to kill them too,
Yeah.
because like everyone is like going crazy trying to get the little sisters to get their Adam.
Yeah, they just want their Adam. Which I do think it was cool too in the speaking of Adam in the final boss fight whenever you're absorbing the Atom from Atlas, and it's like you just have hundreds upon hundreds of it now.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's like obviously you can't use any of it because it's the end of the game, but I thought that was a cool way to just show how fucked he was, like how much
yeah.
Atom he actually had.
It is also
Uh,
cool how like the little sister just gives you the thing that like they've been using the entire game,
yeah,
that to like just walking up stabbing people with it and like draining them.
yeah, um, yeah. I like the little sisters in the game a lot too. Uh, I
You like
thought,
killing them.
well, I tried to be better. Um, I made it canon in my head after the twist was revealed that I only saved them after that
Okay.
because I was a free man in my mind.
Yeah.
That was my head canon. Obviously, you still get the bad ending no matter what if you even just kill one of them.
I think that if you kill
Um,
more than one, you get one free child murder.
okay, that's cool. Um, I do like that in both. You've seen both endings, right?
I have seen like I haven't like watched it with sound, but I've seen like like the spider splicers like jumping out of the fucking
Okay. Well,
submersible or whatever.
what I was gonna get at is that I like that. What was the girl's name?
The doctor girl,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Tenenbaum.
Yeah, I like that her line of dialogue at the end of the game in the final cutscene. It's the same for both endings, but it's the tone and the context of which she's saying it because she says something along the lines of like uh, her like learning who you were throughout the story and stuff, and she's like, "I knew you would do this," and it's like if if you do the good ending, it's like really sweet because she's like, I knew you were a good person. I knew you were gonna save these children at the end of the day. And
Mhm.
if you got the bad ending, she's like, I knew you were a monster. I
That's
knew you were gonna
awesome.
do this. And
I
it's
love
like
that.
it's really clever that they can use almost the same exact dialogue, but it's so different.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Fucking child murdering, fucking crazy maniac.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
You really enjoyed that 300 extra Adam.
I did, yeah. It was great.
That is one
Um,
thing that I will shit on the game for a little bit, is that there's like no reason, there's almost no reason to like actually kill the little girls unless you like don't know that like how it works.
Right. Yeah.
Because like you get such little of a like actual return on it compared to like because you only get 300 extra like throughout the entire game,
Right.
and you can get like I think like 3,800 I think is the like actual cap on it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you get 3,500 if you save them, but you also get a bunch of like free plasmids and stuff. So like you're obviously making all of your money back.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I get it. I get like that you're. I don't know how much you actually get from draining them. You get 80 from not harvesting them like immediately.
Yeah.
So how much do you get from draining them?
For draining them, you get 160.
Okay, so it's I guess it's double. So I mean it is
I think
more, but
per because you need to save a few before you get rewards, right?
yeah, if you save, I think it's every 3 you get a reward.
Yeah, so I think the number is that per 3 you lose out on 40 Adam
Okay,
if you don't absorb them per like yourself.
that makes sense.
So I mean
But then
it's
if you once you save like the 3 of them, you get a teddy bear that has like 200 atom in it,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
like a plasmid and stuff.
Like I said, I started doing that towards the end of the
Yeah, yeah.
game, and I realized all
Oh,
that
okay,
stuff.
okay.
But I like that it gives you the choice though.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is cool. I just wish that they.
Um,
I wish that they incentivized you to kill them more.
right. Like if you'd have gotten like 200 Adam or some shit.
Yeah.
So I got curious after I beat it also. Do you want to take a fucking guess at how what the speedrun record is for BioShock?
40 minutes.
Lower.
Oh my god, 20 minutes.
29 minutes 41 seconds.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch a video later explaining how the fuck they do that.
Yeah, a lot of these kinds of games are really fucking like you can speed run them like fucking crazy. It's like the Saw video
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things to do with like story action games like these is like as soon as I beat it, I'm like, "Oh, that took me like like 14 hours or some shit."
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, "Oh, what's the speedrun record?" "Oh, fucking up my lunch break." Cool. Awesome.
That is cool. It's fucking crazy fucking crack addict speedrunners.
Yeah, it's fucking impressive. I'm like, "How the fuck do you have time?" Like, I don't I've never ever loved a game so much that I'm like, I'm going to find bugs so I can beat it faster.
Yeah.
Like people in the speedrunning community amaze me. I'm like, how the fuck? How do you have the time to figure all this shit out? And then two, how do you find all this
It's
shit
just
out?
it's communities of people like just like fucking going at a
Right,
game for like years.
right, but it's wild.
It is
It's
wild.
crazy.
I bet though, even without like any exploits or anything, I bet you can beat this game in like 4 hours or so.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you can. Like if you know where you're going and shit.
Yeah, and like just beeline it.
Yeah. It's definitely one of those games where it's probably pretty similar to like a Resident Evil speedrun where it's like you need to save certain resources for certain enemies you have to kill
Yeah,
because you're not doing a whole lot of extra shit, so you're not going to be like overpowered like you should be. So it's like you need to like really manage your items and ammo and stuff.
yeah. I'll,
But
I'll have to check out a speedrun of this game at some point.
yeah, I bet it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Um, did you experience any bugs or anything?
Other than the game freezing that one time, no. And the game like it ran good the whole time through
Yeah,
also.
it did run really well for me too. And
But
we
no,
both we both played the collection edition of the game. That's a PS4.
yeah.
Which I don't know that I think that remastered might have a PS5 port. I'm not, that might be incorrect, but
I don't think it does.
The I think that the remastered version of it though is like the most recent port of it.
It for sure is.
But it was like $20, and like I already owned the collection. I don't think we really missed out on anything.
No, yeah.
But no, it ran great. I had one infinite load bug one time where I was just stuck in a loading screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I
That's
waited for
rough.
like 5 minutes, and I was like, okay, this isn't working.
Yeah. Well, then we're even. We both got one freeze.
Yeah, yeah. For like how old this game is, which I guess it's not like that old. Like, but there's rarely anything like I hardly noticed anything like out of the ordinary. Like it seemed like it was working like completely fine.
Speaking of old games, while I was waiting on you after I made my official games list on my PC, I got bored and I took some notes here and I wrote down every single year and how many games are on my list from said year. Um, BioShock came out in 2007, and it was one of where is it? It was one of three games on my top list from 2007. So there's a lot more older shit on here than I thought.
Hmm. What were the
But
other games?
from 2007, it was I believe. Let me see. It was. Let's see here. Uh, it's the highest game from 2007, so kudos for that. Um, God, where is it? Ratchet and Clank Size Matters and Guitar Hero 3. So it's
That's
up there. It's up there
awesome.
with some big hitters. uh,
That's awesome.
yeah, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'd have to check what came out that year, but this could be a game of the year for that year, in my opinion, at least.
In 2007, it probably is.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
Um,
sure that I've played something that came out in 2007, but
let me see. I'll look it up real quick.
awesome.
Let's see, Crisis One came out. Um, Uncharted 2, God of
Oh,
War 2,
oh
Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga.
wait, you said God of War 2?
No, wait, that's not true. That must have been like a PS3 version of it
Maybe
or
it was like the
something.
HD collection or whatever.
Yeah, it had to have been.
Uncharted
Let's
2 is
see.
good though.
Yeah, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Uh, Me and Josh did a presentation on that once in school for talking about artificial intelligence because we were talking about how they programmed the NPCs in that game.
That's
It's really
awesome.
fucking stupid. Let's see. Ben 10 Protector of Earth came out. Okay, I'm done saying stuff ironically. Let's see. The first Mass Effect came out. The first Portal.
Oh, Mass Effect is a fucking masterpiece.
Honestly, it looks like Mass Effect and BioShock 1 are like the two
Yeah.
games. Um, yeah, that's about it. Brandon would tell you Persona 3 should be mentioned, but who cares? Tools of Destruction came out in 2007, apparently.
Fuck! I think Bioshock is a lot higher on my list than Tools of Destruction, so.
That was like a knife to the heart.
I do love that game, though. That was my first Ratchet and Clank game.
Hell yeah.
Let me see actually where it's at.
Prime 3 came out also. I know you haven't played that one, but
That's cool.
yeah.
What a year.
What a year. Yeah, honestly, 2007 is a crazy year because Call of Duty 4 came out, Halo 3 came out, Mario Galaxy came out, TF2 came out, The Witcher 1 came out. I mean, that was a loaded fucking year.
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't think I have Tools of
Manhunt
Destruction on my
2.
list.
You're gonna have to get that, buddy.
Maybe when they do a fucking port of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to put more games on this list. Very excited. I think the oldest game on my list is Devil May Cry 1 that came out in 2001. And then the newest game on my list, there's two games that came out in 2023. I know one of them's Lies of P. What was the other one? Let me find it real quick. Oh, Resident Evil 4 Remake. Yeah. So those are the two newest games
Nice.
on my list.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
I'll have to get around to figuring out where Tools of Destruction is on there.
Yeah.
Very
Also,
important.
according to my own personal data, the the best stretch of years for gaming are between 2015 and 2020. Those have like a serious block of my
Yeah,
games.
2018 is like the fucking peak.
I had four games from 2018. Those being obviously Red Dead 2,
And God of War.
um, God of War, Hades. What's the fourth one I had from 2018?
Monster Hunter World
That's
is probably
definitely the
Spider
one I
Man.
have. Yeah, Spider Man. That's it.
All
I
games that
actually,
were nominated for Game of the Year.
yeah, I actually had the most games for 2015 on my list.
Oh, really?
Surprisingly, yeah, because let's see what came out. Bloodborne came out. Um, what else is there?
Knack.
Soma came out. Yeah, Knack. Arkham Knight came out.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure: Eyes of Heaven. That's like my fourth favorite anime game.
Cool.
Um, and then obviously the best story game of all time, Until Dawn, came out. I'm actually excited for that remake to come out. Um,
I might be if they weren't gonna. I bet they're gonna charge like $60 for it though, so I'm not going to get it.
Unfortunately, you're probably right. Uh, but yeah, it is that currently sits at 48 on my top list. So
Remember that fucking Star Wars game they're allegedly making? Oh no, that's Quantic Dreams. Never mind.
yeah,
I wonder when that's
I do
coming out.
remember that. I do remember that though.
I wonder if that's canceled.
Probably it's a Star Wars thing.
Yeah, we finally get news about Metroid Prime 4, and meanwhile KOTOR is still fucking dead in the water.
Yeah,
Oh well. You take what you can get.
that's right. Exactly.
Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about with BioShock? I think I had one more thing that I wanted to bring up.
You go ahead and bring up your thing. I'll let you know if I think of anything.
Um, so towards the end of the game, there's this segment where you become a big daddy,
Uh huh.
which I thought like was actually really cool.
Oh yeah, it was
Like
sick.
conceptually, it was cool. That segment though is kind of fucking really long and annoying.
You thought
Um,
so?
yeah, because like it takes so long for like the little sister to like just walk around. It's like you're constantly just waiting for her, and then she stops
Yeah.
at the body for like 5 minutes, and like a swarm of enemies comes in.
Yeah, that was a little annoying.
Um, yeah, I thought it was just too long. It was a cool segment. I think it just needed to be shorter.
My biggest problem with that segment is that there were like voice memos in the game that were basically saying like once you become a big daddy, that's that. Like there's no coming back from it.
Mm.
And then obviously in the ending, he's not a big daddy anymore.
Yeah, I guess like
So it's
you
like
don't actually
that's
like become one. You kind of just like change your voice and put like the suit on. I guess
yeah, but it's like it's maybe they mean like the mind control aspect of it you can't come back from.
maybe.
If that's the case, then there's no like plot hole there. But like I didn't worry about it too much. Like it doesn't really hurt the game for
Yeah.
me. I thought it was it could be an oversight.
Yeah, no, they I don't think that I don't think that the like point of it was that like oh, okay, you're like actually like a big daddy now. I think that it was more so like what's the word? Uh it was more so like in a poetic way like okay, like this is like you're becoming like a big daddy in like a uh, what's the fucking word? Um,
What are you What are you trying to think of here?
uh, I don't like it's poetry. It rhymes.
Poetry, it rhymes.
Yeah, like George Lucas.
It's
I don't know. There's a word that I'm trying to think of that.
BioShock. It's about family.
Yeah, it's about family. That's
What's so powerful about it?
and the Big Daddy was a funnier character than we ever had before.
Um, that being said, the part when you're becoming the Big Daddy. You know how whenever you get your voice box changed or whatever,
Yeah.
like that. Did you take that whenever you go up to the machine and it spins and your character grunts? Did you take that as like it actually fucking with your throat?
Yes. Yeah.
So like when he leaves Rapture with the little sisters and he like raises them, does he just have the Big Daddy voice the rest of his life?
I hope so.
That'd be oh, that'd be fucking cool. That part you can't like. There's no poetic rhyming to get rid of that.
Yeah.
That's just that's the story. But no, yeah, you continue with what you were gonna say though.
I honestly can't think of the word.
That's okay. It's okay.
I'm sure that I'll in like 10 minutes I'll think of it and spit it
You're
out.
not thinking of like irony, are you?
No, not irony. It's like it's not the opposite of irony because it's like it doesn't have anything to do with irony. But
What the fuck is the opposite of irony?
well, that's what I'm. It's that's not what I'm thinking of.
Oh,
Um. Uh. Fuck. It's like when something happens in like a movie and like it's not you're not supposed to like take it seriously like it's actually happening like it's more so like the like message of it. Like what's that called?
fuck. Now I'm right there with you. Damn. I almost had it. Just then I lost it. I don't know.
We're both retarded.
That's okay. We'll figure it out one day.
It'll come to me at some point. But yeah, that's I don't think that you were supposed to like it was supposed to be like oh you're actually like going through the entire process of becoming a big daddy because they do
No.
talk about it and it's like yeah it's like this irreversible like fucking like horrible surgery thing that they do to you
Right.
that like makes you like just this fucking monster.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was more like the idea of it like okay you're literally becoming like a big daddy
Right.
with all these little girls.
Whoa.
Yeah. And they all hold your hand when you die.
Yeah, that part's it's a little sad. Oh, I forgot to tell you, my buddy Jacob, he actually has the tattoo on the wrist with the chains and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was like the second tattoo he got, I think.
That's cool, I guess.
Yeah, it's neat. He'll be really happy when I tell him I beat it finally.
I'm sure he will.
Because that's I think BioShock Infinite is his favorite game of all time, but BioShock One's probably like his second.
That's cool. I'll
Yeah.
maybe we'll do one of the maybe we'll do two at some point.
Yeah, we might.
Because I definitely do want to play them both at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, but no, I really enjoyed this game. It was right up my alley, and I'm glad that you recommended it.
Me too. I've been meaning to play it for years, pretty much uh since I've become an adult and not like a cowardly child anymore. uh but I'm always doing something else. So it's there's not many times where I just dive into a single player game like that, like without like a sequel coming out. So I have like so I'm influenced to play it, you know. So
Yeah,
I'm also glad we did it because don't think I would have ever done it otherwise.
yeah. No, that's why I'm glad that we're doing this because I'm on like a high right now after like beating all the DMC games and beating BioShock and stuff. Like I feel like there's nothing that can stop me.
Oh, really?
Because I keep thinking like, oh yeah, I've beaten like Sekiro. Like what else is anything else gonna fucking throw at me? Like, but yeah,
Yeah.
I've been enjoying this so far. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Um, well, was there anything else you wanted to talk about with BioShock?
No.
That was a pretty solid discussion. Not quite as long as our 6 game DMC episode, but
No, not quite. I think it'll be a little bit before we surpass the length of that episode,
yeah.
probably.
Or maybe we'll talk like for 5 hours about the next game that we're gonna be playing.
Oh boy, do you think that's possible?
No, I am. I'm excited to see what you think of the next recommendation, though.
Okay,
So it's my turn
it
now.
is.
Um, the next game that we're gonna be playing, it just got a downloadable port to the
Okay,
PS5.
okay,
Before it was only on streaming.
okay.
It's Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus.
Okay. I've never played a Sly Cooper game.
I think that you'll like it. It's
Okay,
pure classic gaming kino.
nice. Hell yeah.
Um, the I believe that the port of it's like it's emulated, so you have like rewinding and like save states and stuff.
That's interesting.
I will not disrespect you at all if you use any of them because the end of this game is really fucking hard.
Okay. So you've
Um,
beaten it before.
yes, I've
You've
beaten it once, and I have the
okay.
platinum for it actually
Okay, okay. Cool.
because the HD collection had trophies on it.
Nice. Okay.
Um, but yeah, the I wouldn't have recommended it if it was still the streamable one because
Right.
streaming games sucks.
Yeah, just as a principle,
Yeah.
I don't think we should ever recommend something that you have to
Yes.
stream.
Yes. Absolutely. Um, but yeah, it works out because the uh downloadable port just came out, and I've been itching to play it again.
Uh,
And it'll be your first experience with the series, so I'm excited to see what you think of
is
it.
it the first game in the series?
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay. Okay, cool.
It's a little bit like it definitely feels a little bit dated, but I think that you'll still like it's
Sure.
dated in like a, classic, like a kind of Ratchet and Clank kind of way.
Right, yeah.
Um,
The only games I don't like, or I should say typically don't like, because I don't want to just count something out because it's old.
mhm.
The only games I typically don't like because they're old are like um games like classic RE4 where it's like the tank controls, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
I like original Resident Evil 1 and those types of games because they're slower paced,
Hmm.
but 4 it doesn't work for me.
Yeah,
Um
this one's just like a straight up like action platformer, pretty much.
right.
There's a lot of jumping around and like landing on stuff.
Yeah,
Like you've got
I've always looked at Sly Cooper in the same light as like Spyro and Jack and Daxter and all those games where it's like just that classic PlayStation era,
yes,
you
it's
know.
it's it's not quite as good as like the original Ratchet and Clank, but
Sure.
it's pretty high up there though. It's a very nostalgic game, even though I'm not like a huge Sly Cooper fan or anything, but the game feels it's one of those games that feels nostalgic when you play it.
Right. That's like I said, I look at Spyro series the same
Yeah,
fucking way.
yeah, but I think that you'll enjoy it. It's got a lot of like Infamous in its blood, like in terms of like the platforming and stuff, because
Okay.
it's the same team that worked on it, so the platforming is pretty much just like Infamous.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, it's not just like Infamous, like you don't like climb buildings
Aw,
and stuff,
I
but
don't care anymore.
the way that you
Uh,
like auto lock on to stuff that you're jumping onto is a little bit like
uh-huh.
Infamous.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, it'll be fun for me replaying the game on the downloaded PS5 version, and it'll be fun for you to experience it for the first time.
Cool, yeah.
And like I said, I won't be mad if you use the rewind feature or anything because it is the end of the game is pretty rough.
I'm gonna try not to.
Okay. I will warn you now, the game does have a life system, but the lives are very, very easy to get more of. Like,
Okay.
if you like don't even want to like fucking bother with it in the actual first stage of the game, you can just grind them. Like, you can just like keep
Mm.
reloading into the area, and there's just one free one that's just sitting there.
Oh wow. Okay.
If you don't want to use the save states or anything,
Right.
that's what I did when I played through the game.
Okay.
And you don't have to. The game really isn't that hard until like the very end. It's just that you want to
Mm.
have like 10 lives by the time you get to the final
Sure.
boss.
Sure. All this talk is just making me want to beat it without dying once. Just fueling my competitiveness.
But yeah, it'll be fun to talk about because it's a really fun franchise, and I'm I'm excited for you to experience it.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Hopefully
Looking
they
forward to it.
hopefully they get on the sequels, because the sequels are like the
Are
uh
they still streaming only?
yes.
Yeah.
But the sequels are where those games really start to shine, because they introduce like new characters that you can play as and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Um, but no, this one's fun, and I'm excited to talk about it in the next episode.
Right on.
So yeah, I guess we'll meet up again once we have that done. We'll probably talk about the Elden Ring DLC more. I might finally get to it by then.
Yeah, I
Um,
imagine I might, depending on how long the DLC actually is, I might actually be done with it by the time we do the Sly Cooper
yeah,
episode.
yeah. Sly Cooper's not a very long game at all, too. So,
Sure.
but yeah, we'll see what happens.
Hell yeah.
And I'm sure there'll be other stuff to talk about by then too. So,
Oh, for sure. I'm definitely
but yeah, it's been fun talking about BioShock, and
been a
we'll
blast.
and we'll reconvene to talk about Sly Cooper. Levi, if you don't want to be spoiled for Sly Cooper, use your credit card to buy PS Plus Premium, or or you can spend however much they're charging for the Sly Cooper port, and you can download it that way. But be sure to play it before the next episode, Levi, or else you'll be spoiled on Sly Cooper. All right, well, we'll end it there. We'll reconvene next time.
Excellent.